All right, welcome guys. Today I'm going to go over 5 signs that you should not get married. Okay? Marriage is an option, it is never a requirement in a relationship. So, number one is you're having issues, you're fighting all the time. Okay? So much that you need to go to couples counseling before you get married. Marriage doesn't solve problems. Okay? It's not a magical thing that everything's going to be better. If you're arguing with her all the time, if you're constantly fighting, it doesn't get better because you get married. Okay? And I want to be very clear. It doesn't matter if you have a child with her. Okay? If you do, that just complicates things, but it doesn't mean you should get married. Okay? Number 2 is she's pressuring you to get married because all her friends are engaged in getting married and she has gotten wedding fever. Again, not a reason to get married. Now, the first 3 things are related to her, and the last 2, the most critical ones, are things that relate to you, brother. So listen to the end. Also, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, okay? So number 3, she's threatening to end the relationship if you don't propose or get married. Okay, that's a good sign that it's not the right partner for you. Okay, now for you, number 4, you have doubts, you don't want to get married, you've been burned before, and you've just not willing to get married, and you were upfront with that when you started dating, because we've heard women say, well, I thought he would change his mind. If you don't want to get married, don't. If you were upfront with her from the get-go that you will never get married again after going through a divorce, don't ever change your stance unless you want to. Okay? And then number 5 ties into that. But again, if you were honest and you said, hey, when you first started dating, I'm never willing to get married, but I'm willing to be in a long-term committed relationship, I'm willing to have a partner, that's fine. But do not, under any circumstances, change because you're getting pressured to, and if you have doubts about marrying her, you don't have to, okay? Number 5 is the most important, and it will vary depending on where you live. You do want to get married. Great, okay? I thought I would never get married again. I didn't say I'll never get married. I just said that didn't think I would meet anyone who would ever make me want to get married again. So Melanie changed that. But I have a prenup. And if you want to get married, you've been through divorce and you have assets, and you have this discussion, she says, I will not sign a prenup, then you will not marry her. If she won't sign the prenup, she doesn't get to be your wife. Okay? And a prenup is actually a loving thing. It spells out what happens in the event you get divorced or even die, and I'm working on making some changes to my will to specify how things are handled with that. But it isn't planning for the end of a marriage. It's planning that if something were to happen, that you don't have some idiot judge or a state change a law. What if your state made lifetime alimony? You didn't sign up for that. So all of these things can be addressed in a prenup. Makes it really neat, clean, and easy. All right? If you have any questions or you're struggling in a relationship trying to figure out what to do and you want a group of brothers, we've got your men's group. We have 2 weekly coaching calls each week on Monday evening and Saturday morning. And again, if you want to talk about a relationship you're struggling with, reach out to the contact information down below and we'll talk to you. Have a good one.